Or even I make, if any, a proposition as to how to resolve this issue. What the governor is saying is actually a reflection of the stubborn facts on the status of transition from the previous regime to CBC. It is a reality, and the facts about availability of infrastructure. And this is one of the most unfortunate things. When the ministry lays out the conditions of an institution to host what now we would call the transiting class within primary school, it is unfortunate that almost, from where I come from, 50% do not have the facilities and the structures that the ministry is saying you ought to have before you can be approved to host domiciling or to host a certain class, whether it is grade 7 or grade 6 or grade 8 in a particular primary school. But again, we have got to move it such that we are not saying CBC is as bad as it is being depicted. Mm-hmm. We have to accept the fact that the process leading to its rollout is what was mismanaged. The process leading to the transition and the timing is wrong. In my county, therefore, this is a reality that we have got to experience because the government, the ministry has said we must transition. We must have the junior class moving in from 30th of this month to the next level, and therefore I look at it in the context of two things with which when you listen to the cabinet secretary talking about the uniform, to me it's not an issue at all. It's okay, we can have the uniform as they were or new uniform because parents either way would have committed to purchase and have their pupils and their children having uniform. The issue is when you ask me to have a laboratory before I am allowed to host this junior secondary school, and in an institution where we don't have, the modalities of sharing is not in place. The people or the officials from the Ministry of Education who have gone around to collect the statistics are still out there. We've got only around 15 or 14 days to go before they're expected to report in schools. I had a conversation yesterday with the chairman of the Teacher Service Commission. Mm-hmm. The employment of the teacher is not an issue. It will give a complementary support to the structure. The biggest problem is infrastructure. Mm-hmm. And we cannot expect institutions, even if the government has given they have said here that they are giving out 9 billion, which will translate to 4,000 per student in terms of infrastructure facilitation. We cannot build this infrastructure within the next 14 days to have these schools or the institutions ready to accommodate. That is a reality check back in the ground, and also it is across. It's not only in the county of Bomet, but it's all over. However, we've got to accept the fact that we've got to transition.
Right.
We will build on what we do as we progress. And I am sure in the fullness of time, there will be certain adjustments that must be made. And the proposal that I would now make to the ministry is that even though they are pushing for the rollout, they must adjust those requirements to ensure that whatever institutions which are accommodating junior secondary schools, if they don't have some of these structures, they should be allowed time within which to do it. Okay. And I would propose an enhancement of the facilitation in terms of funding, because that way they will be able to, within certain reasonable time, have the structures in place, and we move on because we must move on anyway.